Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome in. I have a very interesting message. It relates to being an observer, it relates to Medusa, it relates to neutrality, being neutral, seeing things from a different lens, seeing something from a different perspective. If you're seeing a lot of foxes and dogs, this message is for you. You or somebody else could be exhibiting rage. And when things clarify themselves, Medusa, rage, and then I wanted to know what the overall feeling was for this. And I'm not saying that you are experiencing rage, but you could. And again, emotions are completely valid. Every emotion that we have is telling us something. It's our guidance system, right? Telling us like, oh, well, something might need to be healed there. Because if you're trying to pull in and manifest the love of your life, good equal partnerships, and equal give and take and exchange and love, that higher love, Whitney Houston, um, there is there's a message here about you taking a neutral perspective of the emotions either you're feeling, or when you share and you're outspoken, you're yourself, you speak truth, it might cause rage in somebody else. And for some, they will know that this is something they need to look deeper into, ask, being the observer, asking, why is this rage? Why does this make me feel rage? And again, this could be you, this could be somebody else, but really, we don't want to say that it's us. We want to we want to think that we are healed, but it's a constant effort on our part. And for what needs to be released, I pulled resentful. And what I'm getting from this is somebody could say something and it could pique a rage and anger inside of you because somebody did you wrong. And this other person that might speak this might not even know about your trauma, might not know, or again, vice versa. You could say something and it could trigger some rage in somebody, and it's like it's almost finding a delicate way of asking, like, hey, my intention was not to upset you. Is there something a little deeper? Did something happen to you, like that book, Oprah Winfrey, What Happened to You? Not what's wrong with you, like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Why did you react that way? It's what happened to you, okay? That emotion, being resentful, having that rage is completely valid, but we need to observe it from a neutral standpoint, okay? With Saturn in Scorpio, this inheritance card, it talks about um, overcoming tragedy. You might have inherited some emotions, some trauma from your bloodline, and you might not even really understand it. But just having the awareness that it's there and that it needs to be dealt with and moved through and even released. I don't want, even making an acknowledgement, tapping on your thalamus gland and saying, I release this resentful energy, this rage. I am healed. I know that everything happens for a reason. And allowing that space, allowing that openness to be there, so that you have plenty of space to, again, observe this rage, this emotion, or if this is somebody that you have in your life, if they're in a receptive, open dialogue, communication wavelength, you can, be that person for them. not giving too much, being more of a soundboard and like, hey, I'm here. Do you want to talk about this? Is sometimes people just need to be felt. You know, they need to felt heard. They need to feel acknowledged, like they actually matter, like they care, because you do. We all do. It's just very uncomfortable, you know, talking about our feelings. It should be natural, okay? It's been something that's very natural to me, but I've also been shamed, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to that, being shameful or being shamed for expressing your emotions, for shining your light and being your true authentic self. And like you see subconscious beliefs that people aren't even aware of, and it's like, I want to help, but sometimes it does get us in trouble because they feel like we have an alternative motive or something. Like, well, why would you want to help me? Nobody's ever helped me before. And that's that energy that we're overcoming and healing within our within the collective unconscious. Let me ground myself for a second. I got a little excited there. So I think, let me just touch base because this is really short. Medusa is feared as an ugly, let me see this. Medusa is feared as an ugly, vicious monster bitch. The truth? This Libyan Berber dark goddess of wisdom's rage is sacred, epic, and fully justified. You are pissed off and petrified, angry and shaking. But underneath that, you are hurt and heartbroken. Feeling undervalued is overwhelming. You can't stay silent anymore. Let your joys, hopes, and beauty rage on. Ooh, I like that. I didn't remember that. So rage can be two different ways. I like that. Take a breath, close your eyes, and put both hands over your lower abdomen. Tune into the part of you that feels out of control. Flood it with loving, healing, golden light. Now put both hands over your heart and do the same. You have a right to your full range of emotions, including anger. Sacred rage inspires us to run for office, lead protests, and shift policies. But unhealthy rage can devour your very soul. Get clear on what is really happening. Allow yourself to feel your feelings, to see the truth. Just because you feel threatened does not mean you are being threatened. The declaration of this goddess is, I have a right to feel my feelings. Yes, you have a right to feel your feelings. And you also are being, remember, neutrality. Do not judge this, okay? Because sometimes we're carrying things that don't even belong to us, okay? You have a right to observe this. You have a right to your feelings. Every feeling is valid because it's all telling us something. And if you're still here, please stick around because I love the way these cards are all intertwined with one another. Create open space. Balance just being with doing. Emphasize arriving over striving. Now, giving to-do lists and goal setting a rest. When your schedule is very crowded, it crowds out your intuition. Create open space by squeezing minutes or even hours into your day with nothing pre-planned. Then let your intuition set the agenda. There is power in pauses. And how this is speaking about intuition, I would love to read the book. It really goes into detail about not having at least like one day. I know that a lot of us have busy schedules. We have kids, we have animals, there's this, there's that. But our power, that's how we've been programmed. And if we can really take the time to not have a day of nothing, just to feel, just to be, and see what intuitive nudges arise. Like you have nothing planned, and then all of a sudden your intuition is like, you should go around the corner to the park. And just so happens at that park you end up meeting somebody and they have some kind of connection. They end up sharing their story with you. You guys end up having ha-has and kikis and maybe even exchanging numbers, or it was just supposed to happen so you or them or both of you could get a little piece of information that's going to help you on your path. Or maybe it was just that energy exchange. They could be part of your soul tribe. And I don't mean that in a sense of like, okay, it's soul tribe, like now we have to be around each other and talk to each other all the time. No, sometimes we have contracts that we have made before we came here, like, hey, I would love to run into you along my journey, and I'll have an energy exchange because I would have learned this, and I can share this frequency, and it's at a 5D level. It's like we don't even unconsciously understand it because it's so magnanimous for us to fathom this. With Metal Dog, simplify your life. And I love how the leaves are falling here. And again, the dog in the Chinese zodiac is the most intuitive zodiac sign that there is. Look it up if you don't believe me. Tuning into your stomach, it rules the gut, it rules down here in the stomach. And I believe that card was just talking about placing your hands over your abdomen and sending a lot of love to your intuition, because it is another part of you that would love to accept some healing and loving and appreciative energy, being just appreciative for it being there, being that tool that you can tap into, and simplifying your life, creating that open space with no pre-plans, nothing to do. And what this is going to generate is, we have the Ace of Swords in the upright, and I made these cards myself, so please don't look at my writing. I still write kind of the same as third grade. We have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and then we have the Four of Swords. You are creating a space for a breakthrough, whatever that breakthrough looks like, whether it's on a personal, spiritual, physical, whatever it is that your intention is set for, you are going to experience some kind of breakthrough, and you're going to overcome all these challenges. This Five of Pentacles, anything that's made you feel like you are behind, that you need to catch up, you don't. That's just an energy to test you, and it's just something to overcome. And when you do, this tension releases, and it allows this Four of Swords rest and rejuvenation. And even with this Scorpio here, it's all about regeneration, regenerating yourself. And also there's a unicorn here in the middle of the labyrinth, and only the virgin, and I don't mean that as in it's just what the book said. Only a virgin can get to that unicorn. And it's almost like, for me, the virgin is more letting go of expectations, being in that curious modality of what beautiful experiences and sights and miracles do I get to experience today, because I'm alive, I was created, I am a being that is here having a human experience. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced that kind of feeling of like, just so grateful, like, oh my God, I'm here, I'm alive, I'm awake. I am a piece of God that has come here to share my love, to share you, for you to share your love. You're going to recover. If you're in a financial pinch, you're going to recover. You're going to be helped out. It's the light at the end of the tunnel. You're gaining an abundant mindset, but space needs to be created. This simplifying your life is really going to be beneficial for whoever I'm talking to. One of the 10 spiritual pillars, the Metal Dog, highlights someone who's equally connected to spirit and skilled in business strategies. Highly confident in themselves, they may not always acknowledge or recognize that a big reason for their success comes from their sharp intuition and guidance from spirit. They're naturally a pro at sniffing out upcoming trends and enjoying digging deeper into their research, so much that they can easily get caught up in their brilliant mind and lose track of time. Fortunately, the dog, as a Yang earth sign, has the discipline and determination to manifest their goals, while Yang metal in the heavenly frequency helps the dog release what doesn't serve. And when I read that, I did take a pause, and I pulled from this deck because I knew it was going to give me an emotion, because it's a healing oracle deck, and it was resentful. So I know that I would love to say that I'm not affected. I know everything happened for a reason, but it doesn't mean it doesn't affect me, the terrible trauma that I had to endure and experience. And there are certain situations that can trigger that. But I do make a mental note, and you should too, that you don't want to hold on to that you would like for that to be released, okay? This card is a reminder to simplify one or more aspects of your life. Whether it's your to-do list, your routine, or your way of living. This is the second time we're getting to-do lists. Somebody's got too many to-do lists and you're overwhelming yourself, okay? And most importantly, simplify your thought process. More isn't always better. Less is more. Oh my gosh, yes. You're so blessed with options, but they're also the very things slowing you down and preventing you from moving forward. You may view them as obstacles instead of choices. When you can't see the road ahead, it's time to clear those distractions from your heart and mind. Clarity likes simplicity. So that breakthrough, that clarity, that ace of swords is going to come through when you practice, when you engage in this type of practice. Instead of overthinking, use your intuition when weighing your options, as opportunities won't stay around too long. Be discerning with what you feed your mind and how you spend your energy and time. Clear your schedules and focus on your priorities and necessities. Enjoy the beauty and ease in simplicity. Since metal is associated with grief, let go of what brings you down to help you simplify. Again, that's that rage, whatever that grief, whatever creates that emotion inside of you needs to be let go so you can simplify and have that ease and no tension. Tension's there to help us get stronger and learn lessons. And this is one of those times where it's like you've already went through this and it's time to release it. And again, if this isn't you, this is somebody in your energy. The dog is a yang earth sign, which is associated with the stomach and is highly intuitive and patient by nature. Trust your gut and bide your time wisely. So, Four of Swords, simplify your life, create open space, kind of get away from the to-do list. You might be overwhelming yourself. It is good to take breaks. Like everything comes in waves. And this definitely feels, this is at the bottom of the deck. I didn't get a chance to read it, but I feel like somebody has a major placement of Scorpio and Leo. I was getting Leo moon, Scorpio sun, and also vice versa, whatever. But we have fortune, inheritance, and fortune is what came out. Leo and Scorpio energy. There, you are prosperous. You are abundant. There's something that is waiting for you, but it's been very patient and it wants you to realize the power in pauses. The pause is where God can come in. The universe, energies, your downloads, the unified field wants to come in and help clear a path. But you need to remain neutral and not assign emotional labels onto these things. Instead, see it for what it really is. And you will go much further. Okay? I think that's all that I had. You know what? Just to end this, I'm like Archangel or Starseed, but I did pull the Starseed in my alien deck earlier, so that's a sign. That's a sign. But simplifying your life is actually a huge benefit. It calms the mind, it calms your body, and again, your intuition is gonna. You're not gonna believe what I just pulled. Wait, it's not time yet. Things are being woven. Please take this pause. Thank you, Spirit, by the way. Wait. Put down the to-do list. Of course, your priorities, your responsibilities, it's not like, okay, for example, I have 2 dogs and a child, and it's just me. We don't have family. We don't really have close friends because we moved across state lines. But I do know that if I don't get up and take care of the responsibilities, my dogs can't go to the bathroom, they can't eat. There are things that still have to be done, okay? think that you just need to lay around and not do nothing and wait for spirit. Um, continue to take care of yourself. And by taking care of yourself, I mean by creating this open space, simplifying your life, seeing, what are the responsibilities, what has to be done, and when can I have a break time. And I cannot stress how important meditation is. Me personally, if it wasn't for meditation, I would not be here. I'm not even sure I would be alive. That's how extreme it was. I feel like it's about 50% of my spiritual journey. So if you're not meditating, let me tell you, when you discipline yourself, even 10 minutes before bed, 10 minutes when you wake up, maybe 10 minutes in the middle of the day, that's a little extreme if you're just starting. But I cannot tell you how important and how much focus and clarity it gives you, it provides you, because you detach. And when you detach, it cuts that resistance. It allows a flow. Like, think of a circuit board with electricity. Like, the more push, the more I'm thinking of, oh my gosh, I'm having a little bit of a brain fart, but it was oh my gosh, I feel really bad for not remembering his name, and I have so many books about him. Holy crap. He reprogrammed he got into the subconscious of his kids and just had them imagine getting an A, and everything kind of fell into place. Like, he was trying to teach his kids so that they would get good grades, and then he ended up, was like, they trained their mind. I think his kid ended up becoming like, won a bunch of lotteries, a bunch of fundraisers, like anything that she sent in for to win. It was houses and money and all this thing. I'm sure somebody knows who's watching this, and if so, please drop it down in the comments, because I feel maybe I need to create some open space right now so that I can remember. Spirit. Soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. You're going to remember something if you're able to wait and be patient. I'm going to read this card. In our fast, loud, reactive, comparative world, where an instant response is so often expected and at times even a currency, it can feel almost impossible to take a breath, let alone give ourselves the space to rest, wait, and reset. We're so often in overdrive, expecting instantaneous results over and over again, and when guidance doesn't come at these extreme speeds, it can feel as though something's gone wrong. But often, not receiving guidance is guidance in itself. When you ask for guidance and don't receive it, it can often mean, wait, it's not time yet. The details are being woven. Our challenge is to keep trusting when, on the surface, it appears that nothing is happening. To remember that no matter how long or bitter the winter, spring does always come. To remember that you don't need to solve all of the world's problems in a single day. Oh, yeah. No weight on your shoulders, please. And that perhaps they'll be better solved with some perspective and a good night's sleep. This card is your permission to slip, to slow down, switch off, and rest. You're being reminded to have patience and to trust the mystery of life, to trust that things are being woven on your behalf. It may not be happening to the timeline you'd like, but if you gather up the patience, it will be orchestrated better than you could ever imagine. All right, here's your soul inquiry. How can you slow down, be more patient, and wait? This is 2424 on the timer. This could not be more perfectly laid out. I thank you, Spirit, so much. The Four Swords, it's rest, it's rejuvenation. You're going to have a breakthrough. Create that open space. Simplify your life. Become the observer. Do not put names and titles and feelings associated with those feelings. Don't put, it's putting judgment, and we just want to be observer. We want to be loving and kind to ourselves and be like, okay, I feel your rage. I feel your anger. I feel your resentfulness. But it's time to let that go. It does not belong to me anymore. My future, I am overcoming all obstacles. I am finding myself. I'm willing to be patient and wait on the guidance of my higher self and the universe. I love you. The universe loves you. And everything is working out for your best and highest good. Until next time, guys.